So in this tutorial we're just going to look at this portion of the PDF, and it's outlining how you create new drawings and apply drawing formats to your new drawings. So I've already set my working directory to this directory here, so I'm just going to get started on this tutorial. So initially we're not going to open anything. We're going to create a new file, we're going to create a drawing, and we're going to select default template, and we're going to call this drawing new drawing. So if you want to type that in. So when we've done that, we can hit OK. We're confronted with this next screen, which is basically asking us about the format of the sheet that we want to create. So you can see that there's various sizes down the bottom here. Standard A sizes, and then just the letter sizes that are engineering drawing standard as well. And more than that, it's asking us for a model file to put on the drawing sheet once we've set the drawing sheet up. So we're going to browse. It'll take us into our working directory, and there's just a single part in there. So I've got the preview window visible here. If you haven't got the preview window, you just have to click down here. It's quite useful when you're browsing through directories with parts in. So yeah, we've got that one part. We're just going to click on OK. So that's the part that we're going to put in this drawing. And we don't want to use a template. Templates are slightly different to formats. They don't just specify the size and setup of the sheet. A template will actually have some predefined views of the model. So we're not at that point yet, so we're just going to select empty template. What that allows us to do is to pick a sheet size. So we've got various sizes down here, you can see from the drop down list. We're just going to select A, we're going to leave it on landscape, and we're going to hit OK. So you can see that our sheet's now been created. You can see some data about the sheet already here. We've got the scale that the sheet's currently at, so that's 1:1. If you double click on there, you can enter a different value. So these, if you're used to a fractional scale, this is exactly the same thing, it's just using decimals. So if I wanted a scale of 1:2, which is essentially half, I would put 0.5 in here, or 1:4, 0.25. So that's how the scale works. We've got the name of the file, or the name of the part file that we're about to drop onto this sheet, and we've got the size of the sheet itself. So we're just going to play around with some of the options regarding the sheet format now. If you click on Sheet Setup up here, you can see that we get into this screen that allows us to reselect the size of the sheet, and whether we want landscape or portrait, and I think we'll just change it from size A to C size. So it's as easy as that, editing the format of the sheet. There's another way to get into that. You don't just have to go up here on Sheet Setup. If you double click on Size, you essentially enter into the same dialog window there. So what we're going to do now, rather than just use the internal built-in sheet formats that you'll get with Creo, if we click on Browse, we can then go and browse our file system and find a different sheet format. So there's one in the working directory for this tutorial, so if you just select working directory, you can see there's just one sheet format file in there. The format files have this FRM extension on them. That's how you know that they're format files, and you can see that it's from the name that it's a C size sheet, but it's actually being given this title block as well, and this border. So we'll select that and switch our sheet format to that one. We can, if we want to see what that sheet looks like superimposed on our window there, we can just hit preview. In this case, it's actually asking us to enter our name, because the person that saved this sheet format set it up with this text entry box when you initially load it, where it asks you for your name. I'm just going to input some initials, and then you can see that I get a preview of what that's going to look like. So if I hit OK there, and then zoom in, because I put my initials in there, you can see that it's already populated this drawn So that's who drew the engineering drawing. So that's quite useful. And you can put all sorts of parameters in these sheet formats that then when the user loads the sheet format in, the system queries what their name is, or who checked the drawing, or what date it was created on. You can set these up. These are just parameters. So if we just go into Tools, Parameters, and you can see in here that we've got the model by one there, and it's just a string value, and it's saying that's user defined. It's not calculated from within the system. So yeah, that's essentially how to create a new drawing, select a sheet format that you want for the drawing, and attach that drawing to a part or an assembly. So we've attached it to the angle guide. We haven't actually placed any views yet, but that will be in subsequent tutorials.